Good afternoon, everyone. It's 4:50 on the clock, which is the 4 of the Emperor and the 50 of the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. It's 12/21/2021 today, so it's a big portal with the winter solstice. I was watching Sam the Illusionist, and he was channeling the next month will be actually full of the codes coming in to ground us into the fourth density. Let's go ahead and take 3 big deep breaths first. Sending lots of love and blessings. And thank you guys all for being here with me. I so appreciate you. Okay. So we're going to roll the die. I have a Metatron read, a message of the day, union read, and the twin flame read that's in front of you on the table. We're going to roll the die first as well. This is for the twin flames. December 21st, 2021, the winter solstice going into 2022. What is the energy for the twins today? We have Saturn. Okay. We have Gemini. It's also referencing the twins and the lovers, which is also June, which is Gemini going into, or rather, Gemini going into Cancer. And I always see the Roman numeral 2 here too, which is reminding me of the High Priestess. So that could be coming up too, which is just the divine feminine energy. So we have the 5 also here, which is the Hierophant, which is also, the Hierophant is, for me, is about commitment and societal norms. Guidance as well comes up with the Hierophant, but it's also change, freedom, and expansion. And with Gemini, Gemini is very communicative. It's in the North Node until tomorrow. It's changing into Taurus. And then Saturn, which represents Capricorn, which we're moving into Capricorn now. So a much more structured energy as opposed to Sagittarius, which is very expansive and fun. But we've been releasing that too much fun as well in Sagittarius in the South Node, which is leaving tomorrow to go into Scorpio South Node. So now we'll be releasing Scorpio energies. Okay, so Gemini, and then the Hierophant's Taurus. So Gemini, Taurus, and Capricorn. Yeah, so a variety of energies kind of completing each other. Here's the Metatron read for you guys. And this is the Metatron deck by Amanda Ellis. And I'll show you them as I go. It'll help break up the video too, so you know where the markers are. And if you'd like to put the time of the start of each read down below, you're welcome to. I appreciate that from anyone. And so again, today's the 21st, so that's the world. And then the day adds up to 38, which is the Queen of Cups, which is the Mary Magdalene energy for me. And also the right knee block came up in the read today. And it's significant this time because not only did I feel, I didn't do anything to my knee. I just moved on the couch, and you know how sometimes just the subtlest of moves might cause a little bit of pain. And so my right knee started with a little bit of weird pain there. I mean, nothing significant. But I didn't jog today because I wanted to watch my knee. And then I was just talking to my daughter who was saying, she was talking to someone who thinks they ripped something or pulled something in the right leg. So there's definitely some masculine anger issues coming up to be released. And also that, just that's that call to really, raise your vibration and pull it into your daily practice every day. I did the Metatron read at 10:01 this morning, which is reflective of each other, the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. And the underlying energy was the void with transformation underneath it and boundaries as well. So don't forget to set boundaries and clear yourself every day. You might want to do that multiple times a day, at least twice a day anyway. And then we have the colors that came up were green, pink, silver, white, and blue. So there's the energy of green and pink, which always remind me of the heart and the high heart energies, you know, with the healing physical energy. And pink and green for me have always been like the masculine and feminine colors, because pink is of mental healing and green was always for physical healing. So it can be coming up in that capacity as well, as it's all about physical healing right now, one in a mental way and one in a physical body way. We also have silver and white coming up together, which is very much about the crown energies and purification. And then the blue of, you know, the light blues to dark blues going from the throat chakra to the third eye. So it's really very much from the heart chakra up. So there's higher vibrational energies. As far as the elements, water and fire came up today. And of course, water and fire can cancel each other out. But we need some of both, right? Fire is the ignition. Water is the motion that gets you through things, that propels you through things. And it helps clear things as well. Let's see, the first card out was water, actually, which is also that dolphin and Lemurian energy. So how this read went was the underlying energy of standing in the light and allowing the shadow to stand back for transformation of the chaos of birth and the dark night or death into the oneness of peace, joy, and love in the middle. How Creator sees you. Set boundaries and remember your key, the monkey or the monk going within. Remembering the monkeys are a barrel of laughs. Remember to have some fun. Through the Mother Arc and the Milky Way steeples, your castle, all aligned with the central sun, the galactic center in this solstice energy. With patience and balance, or maybe instead of using the word patience, we could use acceptance and allowance as well. But acceptance and balance for patience can be seen as a sick person in a hospital who is a victim or has a virus or infection or a victim of circumstance and requires saving by another via drugs, surgery, radiation, or chemo for some. And that was at 1026, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Wands, who's inspired. And there was a very low plane flying over at that time. So, however, even though that can be true about the word patience, remember there's always different perspectives for everything. On your way to enlightenment, we go into the lesson. And sometimes, even though being a patient may be the victim, right, being taken care of by somebody else, in order to grow in enlightenment, you have to first go through those stages or lessons in order to not need it anymore. So there'll be many things that you're going to change about because you have to go through it in order to transcend it. And then you go on to the next. And then, of course, you don't need that thing anymore, but you did at one point in order to transcend it. So don't kind of task yourself about doing things that you think are low vibrational. You need to go through these things to transcend them or to understand them better. So even though the word patience may insinuate something else, and nobody likes to be told to be patient, right? You need to sometimes on your way to enlightenment go into the lesson, and sometimes even hospitals, to learn how and what to transcend. Through the archways of bridges and overpasses to castles in the sky, accepting and allowing, letting go of frustration, which is fear, to retreat to the void. Remember, everything that's not love is fear. And it's really funny, too, when you talk to people who don't talk about this stuff often, and you talk about frustration being a fear, they always say, oh, no, but it was just this and that. I'm like, well, yeah, that's fear. And it's a hard concept to totally grasp. And we all go through that. It takes time to learn. That's why it takes so long for this progression, this cycle to happen. So in letting go of frustration, which is also the anger in the right knee block that's coming up, which is fear, to retreat to the void, walk away and within when needed, off the beaten path, and on to the pampered fool's journey of liberation, free at last at 1031, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the 31 of expansion. But it's also referencing the chaos of birth, as opposed to the 13, which is death, and dark night. So home, then Om was coming up. So of course Om is A-U-M, but also can be expressed as O-M. But in Hindu it is the A-U-M, and it's referencing the home of all God, of everything, the dawn of creation, from the emptiness, which MT always comes up in my coding as empty, the MT. And for me, M is lots of things for me, but here I'm getting the mountain, and the T is the tree, where you take a time out to sit under the tree. So empty, from the emptiness to the Om, the A-U-M, the primal sound of the universe, the root. And then the Ma of mantra, which is, Ma is soul and mind, and then Tra, the T-R-A, is protect or lead. So then, of course, the A-U-M comes up regarding Hinduism and the Brahma, the Vishnu, and the Shiva, and Ganesh being the child of Shiva, and the patron of scholars and science and scribes and slayers of demons, and that was coming up regarding Ganesh. So I'm not going to go into too much of this stuff. You can certainly look up that information if you want to know more. But one of the symbols came up, the 9 triangles of the 4 upright masculine triangles and the 5 reversed feminine triangles in 9 triangles of 43 total smaller triangles. And Mount Meru, the cosmic mountain at the center of the universe, unity of all, and circuits of the chakra. So it's the macro and micro perspectives here. And then also what came up is the peacock, which is the national bird of India. And that the I am Vishnu energy created from one feather of the Garuda, which was an eagle, a legendary bird in Hindu mythology and a carrier of Lord Vishnu. And for some reason, Vishnu is coming up here as significant, the purveyor of preservation and protection, and then has multiple avatars, some of which are the fish, the tortoise, the bear, which all came up in the reads in the message of the day today, the man lion, the dwarf, Rama with axe, King Rama, and then Buddha and Kalkin. And then I had a patient who was also a friend who passed away many years ago, but her name was Vashti. And Vashti came up here as well as part of the book of Esther, which was very interesting because I never thought of us in this relationship of the book of Esther because I forgot the story. But Vashti was the wife of the king that got put away because she wouldn't succumb to the drunk king's call for her to come out with nothing but her crown on, probably, for all the other men who were there to show her off. She wouldn't do that, so she basically got kicked out as his wife, and then Esther was brought in. So Vashti and Esther, there's a relationship there. So then back to the read here, and then the Om symbol was coming up. And what they were showing me is that the Om symbol is tying into the rolling stone. So I always call the rolling stone the E, or of energy, that becomes the M when you roll it, which becomes the 3 and the W. And the symbol for Om is very much the same because it's the number 3 with a little tail on it, and it'll come up in the reading how that came out for you. But for me, when the 3 is down and it looks like an M for the Om symbol, it looks like the thoracic arch of the body going up to the head. And then when it's going the other way, it looks like the butt and referencing the nerve going into the leg. It was very interesting. So it's very much about the physical body right now. And I was listening to Cryon today too. It was a good one. I don't know what the title was because I just happened to listen to it because it just came on after something else I was listening to. But he had talked about the quantum energy and the push and pull that quantum energy is, that we're not quite caught up to yet. But in order to create something quantum in this life, or multidimensional, we have to use some kind of quantum energy, not 3D energy, which is what we have available to us. And what is quantum energy is gravity, light, and magnetics, but it's also you, and that's you raising your vibration which, by the way, your vibration isn't up and down, it's circular. So remembering that in the push and pull of quantum energy, which will be our energy raising, is how we start using quantum energy. Because as we raise our frequency and vibration in our rotations, we also increase our lifespan. Okay, it's like leaving the planet. When you leave the planet, you don't age, so then you come back, of course, being able to, live longer than the others that are still living here that never left the planet. So he was talking about Einstein and Tesla and all that kind of energy, but basically the gravity, light, magnetics, and you are the quantum energy that will change the way the world works. Okay, so the first card out was the water card. That was at 1119, which is the 11 of justice, the 19 of the sun. And the water being the vehicle of well-being, as you well know, to make sure to drink plenty of clean water, with 20 faces of the crystal here represented, of dolphin and Lemuria, of the aqua gold mother light. Excuse me. The divine feminine high priestess with a timeout needed to wake up, the wake-up call of alignment, and listen to each note, not just the whole song, but each note projected. The divine feminine Lemurian angels of song, how the Lemurians see you. So that first grouping of the underlying energy, there's a pattern here, there always is. The first underlying energy was about how Creator sees you. And this first line, the column, was how Lemurians see you. Or was this across? Oh, they were across. All right, so this first one across was how the Lemurians see you. The cosmos mirrors you, songbird, with birds of emotional fulfillment, sending messages of love and sweet tweets. Birds of paradise, cycling through your chakras, big bird, as the birds see you as big bird, with angel wings, from hips to tip of golden light, energizing your rainbow chakra system. The birds watch what you do, Queen of Swords, that you are an example, untying the karmic knots of the electromagnetic grid, connected to the physical green heart of healing abilities. The Knight of Cups being love, which that alone is a healing quality. To Mother Earth, you are each a beautiful, healthy green plant sprouting from her, a stone-raking plant of hers, able to survive even winters when the ground is frozen. So here Mother Nature's relating us to those plants I always tell you about, who survive in the most difficult circumstances, like the olive tree in the desert or the pine tree in the very cold northern Canadian energies. Mother Earth is talking about us as the same, that we are capable of such amazing, powerful things of creation because we're able to survive in the most difficult of circumstances. So Mother Earth is seeing us the same way. We would see those plants that I always tell you are going to lead to breakthroughs in other areas, like, things that might survive in the Venetian waters. So that is also us as we raise our vibration. Her children who have risen above insurmountable odds, the moon child and the tropics of Cancer coming up here, to detach from drama and look up to the 37 unconditional love with the King of Cups. Sit in the ark underground at sunrise. And what they mean by the ark here is that when the sun is rising and it's only half above the horizon line, half the other ark is underground that you can't see. So you're literally sitting in the earth. So sit in the ark underground at sunrise and sunset to feel the ring around the rosy, the heart, right? Because if you're sitting right in the middle of it, your heart's like right at the horizon line, basically. The sun is half at the horizon line, merging with Mother Gaia, where the land meets fire and air, and emotional waters is required from you, a welling of the heart, as opposed to a stirring of the inspiration or passions at the beach. A new dawn of high vibration watching, or welcoming, where there is no shadow in the valley of death, because all is seen when the sun rises above the horizon line, and the shell washes upon the shore, for pink inspiration to self-love and nurture, sunrise and sunset, how you see yourself. And again, that's because that's reflecting your ancestors back at you, the energy that you're projecting. At 1143, which is justice and the Three of Cups. So you see how each section, one was the creator, how the creator sees you, how the Lemurians see you and the birds, how the Mother Earth sees you, and now how you see you. And then the Om again, the AUM, as the rolling stone. So when the Om symbol is like an M, as opposed to the 3 that most people see it as, the M is the thoracic arch in the chest that leads to the heart, but also up to the head. Or the W, which is the butt with the sciatic nerve coming down one side, being more significant than the other. And then the 3 with a thought bubble behind them and a pause. Whereas the E with a tail to tell and a backpack on. The Om of the OM, the human embodiment of Source, and twin peaks to climb, an unshadowed valley, or V, the entry to the womb, creation and enlightenment. The twins supporting the third energy of creation in a single heartbeat, ba-bum. And you notice ba-bum is B-A and then B-U-M. So take the 2 B's out of baby and you have A-U-M, Om. Babies, Om. And you notice when you say Om, M is Ma, naturally. The sword is now out of the stone. The silver warrior of light in union in its adversary or with its adversary melts matter, right? When you become one with each other, it all falls apart. And therefore releases the sword imprisonment in the stone. The sword and the stone are just different manifestations of the same energy, right? Because it's all energy. And that was at 1151 to 52, which is the King and Queen of Swords. And by the way, I was getting with Om, the reflection of Om will be Moi, like M-U-A, which then I reflected also. That's where the Rolling Stones started coming in with the Om symbol, because I was getting the Om symbol reflected the other way as the E, and then M-U-A instead. And M-U-A means to me, as opposed to all, because if Om is creation, it's the expansion of the masculine, whereas the Moi is to me, going within. It's also the sailor, before, primary, the oldest, the leader, the eel, the clouded apparition, the mysterious figure, the earth, the ground, the land, the soil, the country, and the world, the color, the man. You too, the mule, the feminine mule, to buy, to bribe, to square, or get even, to bring upon oneself, to court. And then, of course, Malastoma, which is a flowering plant, which is a beautiful purple of like lilac, violet kind of colors that grows in India, Asia, Australia, and Japan. That's moi. I like that, mua. All right. So then in duality at 1152, Justice and the Queen of Swords, in duality, the King of Wands here, balance is needed, obviously, if we're having right knee pain today. There's an anger issue on the masculine side. So go with the flow and paddle on 1 to 1. The King of Swords is needed here for purity and innocence, the diamond light beneath your wings, and the blue mother's love, which is a gift, and both surrounding the dragon's strength of fire of the sun, S-U-N, and S-O-N, the two sides of the mother's sun, his pure innocence of the King of Swords, and the fiery strength of the King of Wands, cooled by the blue indigo of the mother's love and grounded earthy emotion. From sunlight to Mother Earth, a message sent from Father Creator to Mother Creator, who has to tell her he has to travel for work, and is sending their love at the holidays through their son, number 1. The underlying energies from dawn to dusk to Om. The first column here was all about the groupings here that came up. The Lemurians of 20 faces of the crystal, the cosmic birds, which came up as 12, which is the hanging man. It's like them being able to see things from a different perspective very easily. And then the electromagnetic grid of Mother Earth and Father Sun into the 0 point of 1. The divine feminine in time out with the birds, and heart to heal the shadow with each new dawn. And then where my pen ran out right at that word. And then at 12:04, when I started my new pen, was the third column of calling of big bird, which is you, the way the birds see you, on the wings of angels, with shells and shapes of triangles and squares, or in other words, the right angle to even things out and make them square. Instead of shell oil, pink oil to anoint your heart with compassion instead. So of course then I had to look up shell oil to see why they were bringing it up. And the news about shell oil came up of making gains as the market dips was that Chevron on Shell made a farm out agreement for Block 5 offshore Suriname area, where they gave 20% of their 60% ownership of that area to Shell, which is a total of 863 square miles. And that was at 12:12. And also there was a move of headquarters from news from 12/10/21 from the Netherlands to the UK for Royal Dutch Shell. So there was a couple big headliners this last week, actually. So that had to do with Shell oil. So then at 12:21, which is today, but this is the time that I started the message of the day, to 12:25, the underlying energy was the cosmic egg, the fish, the Queen of Swords upright, and the marriage, which is the most positive underlying energy I've had for a while. The cosmic egg is the crown chakra. It's very beautiful energy. And the fish is about abundant energy exchange. The Queen of Swords was upright, and then the marriage of abundance with the number 3, or the Empress. The crown is open here, and this can reference England with the crown as well. I wasn't even thinking of that before. But the crown is open with the collective awakening to abundant energetic exchange to or with the Queen of Swords with the light and abundant divine marriage. The fish or fish lamb, which can represent Jesus as well, and 2 hearts that beat as one, along with the elephant, the dolphin, and the eagle, all very significant characters, all bringing forward their talents of clearing with each step, with compassion and joy, and diving deep with triggers to the collective, but on the same level, side to side as opposed to one above the other. Abundant travel or cruise, or the mothers, going to the mothers, or to Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, from womb to tomb, and the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Cups taking a risk to come together through the maze to the center in a public meeting or Parks and Rec. Flowers in nature on display, and what poisons of nature are used to create more abundance and flow in nature and waterways, or the imprint of how our travels affect apple trees and fishes. The Page of Wands reversed, at or after the full moon, dumping a load or with an afterglow, purging affections or in a breakup, announcement coming together at work perhaps, or to create together with the Queen of Swords upright here. With Cancer, Gemini reversed, and Aquarius upright at 12:36, which is the hanging man and the Atlas energy of the weight of the world, a dream gift to a false person or a couple with masks in the dance of the man and the woman, so that the main male could journey on without the wounded warrior or the Queen of Wands thief, or getting out of or into abundant marriage, perhaps with a gift from a father, but there could be a father and daughter here who could be scam artists, and that could be something someone's getting away from. Or this could also be merging for money as opposed to a loving marriage and collective abundance. It's not to say there isn't any loving marriage here, but there could also be these kind of shady circumstances. And it could be, it feels very manipulative. It doesn't feel like everyone's on the same page. It feels like there's one party, like a couple, who are manipulating their wealth in order to get what they want, in order for them to be able to make more money without doing anything. And I don't think the other party is aware of this. But this also could be getting away from that kind of circumstance. At 12:42, which is the hanging man and the 2 of Cups, the first section here is the buffalo and the scorpion, which is representative of the north and south node now. As we go into tomorrow, The buffalo is the Taurus energy of the north node, and the scorpion the south node of Scorpio, the north and south nodes. The buffalo, cold polar bear that may be pushy, or a pushy mother and father with the buffalo here, pushing the buffalo to a partner who's just like her or his mother, or in her family. Or is the buffalo the emperor, imprisoned by this at present and the mother's pushiness, or this could be a father too, and then scorpion with their stinger out, 1-to-1 with the bear, in energetic exchange back and forth with romantic little girl. Or she is the scorpion, being that sweet little girl, using that to manipulate her way with her father. One going north and the other south, or these could be two people going in two different directions as well. The Emperor in energetic exchange with the Golden Child and the Knight of Wands reversed, who may have fallen short of expectations. Or that could be someone paralyzed by their passions, or just thought they could follow through with something and then they just tuckered out, or they fell off the wagon. So the second section here is the bear, but it's not the polar bear, it's the regular bear, and the nightingale clearing the air, or with song. The bear with loving man, or is the loving man, or twin energized, happy, or exposing a message of concern from father, perhaps about a patient or patient angel and higher love, and a songbird child in transition falling short or paralyzed by their passions in a message received, a vehicle of infiltration, or an acceptance letter perhaps, with mother and son, father and daughter, pushy parents, or pushy kids here. Could be either way. All are very fiery, with Aries upright, Leo upright, and Sag reversed. Capricorn and Scorpio, Cancer too, going into Capricorn now, which then puts us on that Capricorn-Cancer axis. The third section here is the web, the starfish, and the gazelle, and the vulture. The sticky star, and Beauty and the Beast. The wicked web with the Page of Cups with multiple faces of vulnerability, and destined to hang out with, or be, privileged lady, or wise Libra, Pisces, or Capricorn here. The star, Page of Wands, cracking codes to find peace or travel at night, or to bliss, while home or in union, and adjudication in court. The gazelle, the graceful gazelle, burdened by Atlas, with bliss, with main female, high priestess, and vulture, with options on the fool's journey, with completion, or the world has come full circle here. At 12:55, the hangman and the truth, the divine feminine, Pisces, and loving mature woman, or two sisters and a mother here. Perhaps one is with a child who's a star, and then one with burdens in their family life. Then we have Libra, Pisces, Aries, Capricorn, and Gemini, perhaps on a cruise together. And the fourth section here is the crossroads with the truth of the dragon, which the throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra came up here. So that those who may go on a cruise together in that prior section to see the world now that the worst is over. And then we have the crossroads of truth of the dragon, which can be the higher self as well, regarding speaking your truth and being confident in yourself. Tarantula, exposing the powers by standing up to light the flame in a courtship, with the truth spoken, with the hermit's gift of ending negative emotional cycles, and expecting the emperor at 28, as the dragon pulls it's like that was pulls. Anyway, the dragon is the energy of going out into their cold and being on their way, as the King of Cups is the energy of the little boy coming in, needing love. It's like going out. It's like instead of being out in the cold, it's literally like being out in the cold weather to come visit family. And that was at 1:01 p.m. So then we have Leo, Aries, and Virgo. Twins or higher self and unconditional love here. In the fifth section is the tiger and the lizard, and the collective sealed. The crouching tiger and hidden dragon, as the lizard is still learning and has trouble with crowds draining them. The tiger is a sudden star, or with spontaneous healing and dreams coming true, keeping their cards close to their chest, while filing legal papers or transferring titles as the King of Wands. The lizard's inspired by a letter or title of or sister or suffering in silence up nights with empty home or room complete or available or coming full circle here. The collective awakening with the Knight of Wands commitment to the vulnerable officially or making it official on the Fool's Journey or sealing the deal. The collective sealed today, receiving codes all month per Sam the Illusionist channeling today through the 21st of January. And then dreams of marriage, getting into school or working on the home or the home of your dreams. You may think you were rejected or the collection now the collective awakening is rejecting officials, right? Instead, being the official on their own, not expecting someone else to be above them. Or the tiger is walking the lizard through the process to make things official or helping with the paperwork they don't understand yet because they're still young or they're just learning a new skill. With Scorpio, Pisces, and Aries here. The ace section here is the turtle and the deer one. The turtle's telling the deer one to go on without them because they can't keep up right now. They're really struggling with the dark energies. With the fox leaving the hen house and the King of Swords on a journey or catching a train. And the deer one, High Priestess, is lucky after a death or divorce and inspired by sudden income or sudden incoming. Or deer and nature are inspiring them. With Sagittarius, Pisces, and Scorpio reversed here, as well as Libra too. The seventh section is the lion, the fox, the bat, the panther, the frog, the otter, and the zebra. The pup is waiting for the lion to walk them or take the lead, with the Page of Pentacles reversed in despair or the pair. The power man fox left Leo or weak one behind, along with occupation, or so that the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Leo reversed could learn a trade on their own without depending on them. The dreams of nesting the golden egg with things looking up, but the bat is lost in space, or stuck in the attic, free to roam throughout, or finally found their way out. Spiritual union and peace with the Black Panther beast, or the panther grew with the Queen of Pentacles and the wealthy man in transition, or seeing that they needed a little scare or trigger to get them going on their transition. A blessing in disguise, in other words. The Queen of Wands or swans with frog dependent on the wealthy man and changes with the hermit, or mother and daughter were left a house and a car to go out on their own, with the key to freedom, and the otter, the Page of Swords reversed, may be happy and curious to be free, but then only to find bad healthcare options or bad news, perhaps of one who is sick. Expanding family with zebra, dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments on the Knight of Cups community. And the zebra clearing through the family tree, no longer confused in finding the one, the Knight of Cups, and the community, or cheers. The lion's in need of courage or strength, with the Page of Pentacles reversed, who's in need of help, money, or opportunity, in despair, or Leo pup is needing to learn. The man may be moving out, and the pup will miss them. And this could be like a roommate situation too, right? Where you're changing roommates, but you have a dog, and the dog's going to miss your roommate. And then lost in space without a dream home and family finding their way, or leaving home to stay at a wealthy man's house, or a dream opportunity to work together spiritually to clear the dark energies and triggers. Two as one, the frog stretching to Prince and putting out for a home and or car with changes. Now the child is free and must find their own health care, and they don't have to pay anymore. Or the child is watching the zebra or asking questions when they're in negative self-talk or when they don't understand how to dump emotional attachments or causing health issues, and understanding the benefit of community and being love, the Knight of Cups. The Page of Pentacles reversed is needing strength to free themselves from the Queen of Pentacles upright and the Sovereign reversed or dependent, and the Page of Swords reversed, maybe a naysayer in dumping emotional attachments or your own negative self-talk. And there definitely could be a family here with a mother and two kids for sure, with all of the Pentacles energies here. But it's like one freeing themselves from the others, or one child's just growing up and going out to move out on their own. But there could be someone who's a naysayer, maybe because they don't want them to leave, because they want them to be there to do things for them. Or the teacher here leaves to become the student again at 138, which again is that Queen of Cups with the Magician. Someone may have received an inheritance as well. Okay, so now we're going to go into, I didn't show you the picture of that read too, so I'll show you that one. So this was the message of the day I just did for you guys on top of the Metatron read. And this one was extended too to this section as well. And then now we're going to do the union read, which is here. For those of you not familiar with my union read, it is 3D, 4D, 5D, 3D, 4D, 5D, feminine on the left, masculine on the right, the bridge between them in the center, incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies here, and the closing energies here, which was that was the Seven of Pentacles there. It's a little covered because I pulled a few extra cards. And then we have the read in front of you. They're both the Syrian Starseed deck. This is the main read for the read on the table. And this is more of all the energies for masculine and feminine twins. The first one was more about the physical union. And then here's all 7 decks for this read on the table. Okay, for today. Okay, and I just list all the decks that I use down below. So if you can always ask me too if there's something that you don't know what it is, if you have a question. All right, so going back to the union read here. All right. So the union read was done at 4:47 yesterday. And that's the 4 of the Emperor, and then 4 to 7 is always the sweet spot for me, right? Because it's right in the middle of the numbers. It's the sweet spot of just airing to the left or airing to the light a little bit. The balancing of the energies in numbers. And this is 3D, 4D, 5D. The underlying energy was the 6 of Swords. The central energy was the 4 of Cups. And the closing energy was the 7 of Pentacles, which in the Syrian Starseed deck for me is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower. Peace, hope, and the Divine Feminine's heart. The full moon ascension, the sense connection, and the Page of Wands masked child expecting the woman to kneel to their desires in waves of humidity or sweaty mess, in waves of flames or group conflict, sports, competition, and walking away and within, in the ocean perhaps, or a dolphin swim to find peace, with friendly water, child perhaps. An island to self, but it might be scary out there, forcing you to look up instead at the stars. Starry night, in the Divine Feminine's heart, in their knowing of past life bond, and the Knight of Pentacles offering, and then the indigo offering. They're 2 different offers. It's like one is crystal and the other is diamond light to ascend, or multiple offers coming in that may require a move or travel. The incoming Divine Feminine is the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and Justice, with groundbreaking new beginning, with the King of Wands Shaman, with divine justice or Libra energies here as well. At 5:35 is a peace offering to the King of Wands for truth and balance with the Empress. And the 3D is the Empress, the 5 of Cups, and the Hanging Man. The Divine Feminine Empress Mother with arms open wide, the Divine Masculine Hanging Man with a right knee block, bridging in a purge, or met in the woods where he doesn't show, and it's like on the way to grandmother's house we go. So again, this is like someone saying you're going to meet somebody in the woods and then they never show, and then on the way to grandmother's house we go. So, and again, to all of the holiday parties. At 5:38 is the Hierophant and the 38 of the Queen of Cups. The 4D is the Hermit, the 5 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles. The Hermit with light reflecting left. The Divine Masculine surrendering to all that is, right, even pink auras, and bridging on Long or Ellis Island with liberty and plum, or even looking up at the altar of ancestors that have come before us, where the land meets sea, where mud and sand move, and merging of elements that changes them, and yet the same, all at the same time. In the 5D is the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 9 of Swords. The Divine Feminine within, and yet fully exposed, as Pegasus or Sagittarius leaps across sunshine, flowering, and that could be a sunflower as well, as the divine masculine's hiding underground out of the sun, destined to less sun, less shade at the same time, coming today in Jimmy Neutron with pros and cons, or proton and cons, and electrons and omicrons, alpha, delta, and omicrons, and elrons, pros and elects, cons and rons, and in 3 spheres of existence, and 1 monkey in the middle. The key is inside. The outgoing divine masculine with the 10 of swords, the king of swords, and the 10 of pentacles. Ending pain, or a painful ending or betrayal. Massage for upper back pain, and the king of swords, the master of ceremony, in their own world apart from the 10 of pentacles, family, business, or community. Sensei, or A for alpha, and A, B, C, 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 and then D of the DAE of delta, with variety of ohms, and I, cron, the garden of prayer, or secret garden of big crystals and fern, but never learn. The divine feminine with abundance and reflection, the mother and hermit in the sun, or powerfully energized by the sun, S-U-N, and the sun, S-O-N. The divine masculine hanging out, surrendering to all that is, back to back with her in another place or time, and then he back to the woods, underground, and out of the sun. The bridge here is the purge, the loss, the regret, and then look up at the star from 4 to 5 p.m. So Venus was very apparent in the sky last night, so it was saying to check out Venus last night from like 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. this morning. And it was like, it's like the feminine's in the middle on the bridge, in the woods looking down sad with the 2 of cups, but then in the 4D on an island to herself looking up at the stars, and then by the 5D is the Wheel of Fortune, which is the star, because literally the star that she looks up at in that 4D picture is exactly like the Wheel of Fortune picture in the middle of the atom. It's the same thing. So there's like a close-up of the star. So in the 5D, you get to be that star. So then I went out to see if I could I could see the star they were talking about. And so I was getting, I believe it was Venus. So I took some pictures of that. Not that I can get any good pictures with my iPad, but I was. So the star, the overall number for the union read was 54. The divine feminine had Libra, Taurus, Virgo, and Leo or Sag on their side, as well as perhaps Cancer and Pisces. So a lot of energies, along with the shaman, King of Wands, and perhaps the Page of Wands too. The divine masculine had Pisces and Capricorn, and perhaps Gemini and Cancer on his side, along with Sensei, the King of Swords, and perhaps Knight of Pentacles too. In between them was Libra and she. So 54 is the Page of Swords. That was the overall number, the message. And the horizontal pillars came out to 22 of the Fool, 6 of the Lovers, and 26 of the Page of Wands. And the vertical pillars came out to 7 of the Chariot, triple zeros, a lot of source energy backing them up, or a lot of space, 9 of the Hermit, 11 of Justice, 10 of the Wheel, and then another 7 and 10, which is the Chariot and the Wheel again. So the messages came out as the Fool's Journey of Lovers, Page of Wands, and Page of Swords, or inspired by a message. And then the Chariot with lots of source energy, emergently, Chariot surrounded by high vibes with a Page of Swords message. So it's like a message comes in and all of a sudden there's all this high vibe energy, which can be the codes that are flooding into us now as well. But again, we have two vehicles, and 9/11 came up there too. So 2 vehicles, 2 wheels. It's a lot about moving vehicles here, right? With 2 Wheel of Fortunes and 2 Chariots. And then the 9/11, emergently moving. And I'm getting moving, rolling down the river as well. Okay, now we have the read in front of you on the table. At 7/11, the deal is cut. 7 is the Chariot, 11 is the Justice card of truth and balance, with the underlying energy here being the 3 of Cups. And then on top, the mini cards. And then down below, we had, well, I'll get into that in a minute. I didn't go through the other stuff first. So anyway, it was cut and dealt at 7/11 for 12/21 today. At 723, which is the Chariot and the King of Wands again, of crystals came up. So again, of being Christ-like and of purging and cry stalls. And then stalls were emphasized as well. And stalls can be also be saint-like or path-like. I've finished clarifying at 736, which is the Chariot and the Atlas energy of the weight of the world, the Ten of Wands. And the major arcana here is the solar deity, reflection, and alchemy. And before the read was reason of the emperor and abundance of the empress. And then after the read, there were no majors there. So it's basically the main ones were solar deity or the sun, reflection of the hermit, and then alchemy of the temperance card. There were 2 cups, 1 sword, 3 wands, 2 pentacles. Excuse me. And then the King of Cups came up, and the Knight of Wands were the main players. King of Cups, Knight of Wands. Before the read, the Page of Swords and Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords came up. That's a mother and 2 children, perhaps. Or it can be a couple and 1 child as well. Or they could all be messages, except for the Queen of Swords. And then after the read, the Queen of Pentacles came up. So 2 queens, 2 knights, 1 king, and 1 page. The numbers, we had 3 double numbers, 33, which is the Christ vibration, and the 7 of Wands, standing up for oneself. The 99 of compassion, endings, completions, universal selflessness, the collective consciousness. And then 1010, keeping your vibration really high in that high vibe trill. We have patience and financial discipline. The code line was all about that. Patience and financial discipline. That's funny that patience came up right after I was just talking about patience. And the code line was all about the number 16 coming from 3, 3, and 10. And 16 is the Tower energy of sudden events, epiphanies, and sexual exchange. So the message here, besides the other numbers, which were 9, 10, begin again, 8, 9, 10 as well, 35 of the 8 of Wands, 38 of the Queen of Cups, 39 of the Knight of Cups, and then the 13 of the Transition, 35 of the 8 of Wands, I think I said that already, 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, and 57 of the 3 of Swords. So the code line all about the number 16 and financial discipline and patience, and came up as this. Say 3, so the word ADE was coming up, which can be the name Addie, which is a nickname for a lot of different names, but it also could be an aid or after death energy as well. So say 3 Addies, or 1 of 2 in separation, in a destined high vibration of any father. Somebody could be looking for like a father, right? So someone who didn't have a good relationship or didn't have a father around growing up could be like focusing on a father figure and looking for a partner. But also there's the energy of the financial read, that it's bad to close the I without the L, but with lip. So without love, right? And just looking for, again, that father figure energy was coming up. And financial read is like a mouthpiece for finances, or a fin, which can be like a dolphin's fin may label them as being friendly. And that can represent somebody who gives lip service too, right? So they may be mouthy, or maybe they're being too sexualized. So we were also getting here to say, or an essay was coming up again, the thread of the E, of energy, of 1 of 2, or support and heartbreak ignited. Pennsylvania may be coming up here as well, and coming hither and love, or just being here. A bad sip line, or the point line, the chip line. Jeep is coming up here as well. The tipping point type of energy there. And also there could be a Saturday hire. Somebody might have hired someone for Saturdays. But Saturday can represent Saturn as well, which can be a very more challenging job or more disciplined job. But Saturday hire, after death energy, and support of 1 of 2, to separate or to be the cause or blame. And then the word Sath was coming up, which means devil. but not on, the way it was coming up, regarding aid or support, to separate or disappoint, to set on fire or arouse. And of course with the devil, to say textile with Jesus, but I am. So to say textiles, but without Jesus, but the I am presence instead. Instead of connecting yourself to a higher vibration through Jesus, it's doing it through yourself, your I am presence. One of two in separation, or one of two, but three of blind men and orphans, of thoughts and words, in high vibration, human, or their third eye. Sex addiction came up again today, so it's definitely coming up this week to clear. Sexual addiction and taking the high road energetically with aid and support for heart pain. The devil, not on, is being read here as gold, the golden moral man. It was very interesting the way this was coming up. So when the devil isn't being on, like a devil usually is, when they're not on, they can read as the golden moral man, right, in disguise. So you got to be careful about that, right? Because the devil's whole purpose is to seem like the angel, except for that last little bit where they turn on you. So the human, or Jesus, reads as the golden moral man. They blow on a golden reed. They're pure of sound, the moral man, but with a heart of silver and set on fire and or aroused by patience and financial discipline, but not by love. So again, the golden child can seem perfect, but if there's nothing in their heart, that's not love, right? That's the energy of manipulating people to get what you want, because there's nothing coming from the heart. So it's saying it's like that energy of being careful of what you wish for, but also be careful of how you discern what people are good and bad. Just because they look good on the outside doesn't mean they're from the heart. So again, sexual addiction coming up. And 3 addies, or aid or support, in a heartbreak destined to sting, to eat. And then say take the high road. And then repeat again, ditto. As the moral man may be heartbroken or disappointed, being able to blame, or because being the cause. And then we have 3 of Cups upright. 3 of Cups upright, and beneath that was the Page of Swords, the Emperor, the Empress. The Knight of Swords was the only one reversed here, and then the Queen of Swords upright. So we have the Emperor and the Empress. They could be parents or grandparents. And then the Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, and the Page of Swords, where the Knight is reversed. And then coming together with the 3 of Cups. So they're coming together with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Wounded Warrior with new information and clarity. Why there are issues between the Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups, perhaps, which can be younger people. And then the Page of Wands reversed may have started it up, or been the trigger there, with the Page of Cups upright. The Page of Wands reversed may have started up with the Page of Cups upright, who doesn't want to fight or play sports. And the King of Wands reversed might have been out in the cold or in the doghouse, with the Hierophant reversed or Taurus reversed, betrayed in a breakup or pain due to lack of affection. So these could be kids or pets who are being left out of the loop right now because they're dealing with their own stuff. At 9:15, which is the Hermit and the Devil. Or the Page of Wands reversed, lost to the Page of Cups upright, the more innocent one, post-war, or that could be sports or whatever games they're playing as kids. But these also could be adults acting like kids. So the Page of Wands reversed, lost to the Page of Cups upright post-war, with the King of Wands reversed, with Taurus reversed in chart, or in a divorce and bleeding out without lover, or without affection or sex. The keys of 1 foot bigger than the other, or a long second toe, or lots of pain in the right hip, kidney, liver, to heart and left shoulder, or nerve issues, or bleeding out on pins and needles, or bled out on the table, or the gates wide open to a breakup or a divorce because of whatever happened. Aries upright, Taurus both upright and reversed here, Gemini reversed, or religious leader, or just a leader in general, perhaps went down for a sex addiction, or forced to come together but didn't want to. And then the King of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, with the Queen of Cups upright and the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Page of Cups upright. So we have like three families here. The King of Wands with the Page of Wands reversed, the Queen of Cups upright with the Page of Cups upright, and the Knight of Cups reversed, paralleling the Knight of Swords reversed with the Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords. So bringing three young kids together perhaps, or perhaps pets in a pet park to walk, or just family gathering and not all are getting along. Present in the moment, in a twist of fate, saving for a new life, or withholding from, or unable to hire right now, perhaps temporary closed for illness, or a gift of Libra reversed or not present, or no present and no room at the inn. School's out, horseshoes, or Horseshoe Bay is out now, all dressed up and nowhere to go, or all dressed down, but it's freezing outside at 9:30, which is the Hermit and the Union, or the Home. With romantic feelings and beneath that attraction, the Dark Priestess or Pisces with an open book test and cleavage, can you read my lips? Or this could be a sex pot, it could be child acting out. Fantasizing the mirror, ceiling, or on the red couch, or the psychiatrist, or casting spells to make Hermit feel it. And I was getting the Alanis Morissette song. While Hermit missing their flame, while in codependent relationship of depression or drinking or sex, and caught with their pants down or in the woods, or got poison ivy or oak or sumac or VD and gave it to someone else. Or tip turning black, which can be gangrene there, with apples put back after cutting them open, or her candle burned out long before her legend ever did. Someone may have gangrene in their legs, or losing circulation, or their color is changing, or they're wearing a diaper, and this could be an older man who has to wear a diaper now. One partner's longing for another, and the other partner is having an affair, or Pisces and Virgo with dream family, codependently sharing burdens of others, or certain siblings doing all the work and others none at 9:42, which is the Hermit and the Two of Cups. Environment comes up here with 44 and grounding, integrating, and mastering that green environment, and beneath that was the suffering and silence of parenting. The heated exchange of the Ten of Pentacles reversed family, business, or community to complete the cycle, or with the Divine Feminine or Pisces, and new love destabilizing Justice or Libra with negative self-talk or immature conversation, or a child with a mouth, or steps unstable and someone fell, or Pisces or Divine Feminine loves Libra and moving without telling anyone, or family is arguing and Pisces left or tried to open up to them about a big love, moving or visiting and didn't return the message, or said they can't come. The Page of Swords reversed coming together with an ex, or Gemini reversed and both out in the cold, or walking together, burdened with Atlas or the weight of the world and a need for a green environment or nicer weather. Or one got mixed up in a fight and ran into each other at a hospital or doctor's, or fell in sports or got caught having sex, which caused a brawl and fall from grace. With Pisces upright times 2 here, Libra upright and reversed, both, Gemini reversed, Virgo upright here, and then the very underlying energy here is soulmates and kids and fond memories of the Queen of Swords reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with Pisces reversed and Capricorn reversed, or detoxing secret passions, or best friends or sisters at the spa, perhaps. And then after this read is the energy of the Emperor upright, reaping and being strong, or thinking about getting a pet, or daydreaming or gardening with Leo child or pet, feeling lazy or unable to move, or unable to function, or stuck with in a death situation or ending or transition, with the Empress needing the Emperor's help or vice versa, or the Page of Pentacles reversed needs help and is getting between the Emperor and Empress, not getting them a car or giving them money. It's like the parents refusing, they're always in their face trying to get their attention, so they'll get them a car or give them money or help give them money to get their car fixed, but they're not. And then we have Gemini or Virgo reversed, and the Knight of Swords reversed may be lashing out about it. or the Empress and the Emperor refusing to invite or pay for their transportation. If the family insists they come, they're not paying for them to come. Or Leo upright and Scorpio upright, with Taurus upright and Aries upright, Cancer reversed and Gemini or Virgo reversed, but the parents are upright here. The Knight of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles and Knight of Swords are all reversed here. Perhaps kids are fighting or acting up, and they're trying to keep them apart. Maybe there's like parents between each child. Or the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles are reversed, are going to the mothers or grandmothers, and the Knight of Swords reversed is going to the emperors. But not if the emperor has anything to say about it, or without a car to get them there. And the recent past is the King of Cups reversed, sneaking away for some peace, or leaving so they don't have to help clean up, starting over with issues at work and energetic exchange post-war, or virus performing or juggling, or doing the daily with the Emperor upright, giving them the sideways glance, while the Knight of Swords reversed is holding their tongue about receiving big love from the Divine Feminine in 5D, or Pisces reversed. The King of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups upright and the Knight of Wands reversed perhaps had a falling out or a negative past, or kids being difficult here, dumping emotional attachments or multiple loads, and the foundation being the Hermit, reflection of the Page of Wands reversed, walking away, or Hermit who's uninspired to leave or walk, or maybe don't feel like going for a walk, and then holding on or saving when big passionate offer came in, dumping multiple loads or no longer confused. At 10:15, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil, the Dark Knight is moving on. Or with the Hermit and Virgo reflecting, or when they reflect or meditate, the Dark Knight or Scorpio goes for a walk or ride, or they're walking all over them. The central energy is the Sun reversed, being drained, lack of energy, sick or overexposed or burned, choosing a new path or giving an ultimatum. The family's unhappy, or the cycle is so over at the full moon release. With Cancer upright and Pisces reversed, sending love as the Emperor's upright, holding their tongue. Drained by healing, dreaming, or shining their light, or drained by Aquarius, and challenged by separation, disappointment, and detoxing their heart. The King of Pentacles reversed is insecure about money or without the tools to manifest. Or the King of Pentacles reversed with Virgo in their chart, or Gemini, and is drained by kids, Leo, or pets, or needing a vacation. Over it, with the Hierophant reversed or Taurus reversed, and awake to a sister or suffering in silence and brokenness of Cancer or Capricorn, or both reversed, connected in the dream state, perhaps. The Devil reversed or detoxing, no longer marking their territory or feeling castrated. The Emperor's upright and stunned by the injustice, or the Divine Feminine one with Libra in their chart, finally talking or giving up new information, of the Queen of Pentacles starting over, with the wounded warrior who's guarded with the weight of the world, and awakened to the Queen of Pentacles performing or juggling while suffering in silence, and or sister who's not sleeping. And then now, in the now moment, is the wounded warrior burdened, standing up to the crowd about falling off the horse, or sending away the players, or coming together with the Ten of Cups family for vacation, or to expose negativity or bad news, or painful home or union, or coming together to end back pain at home. And the Knight of Wands reversed was pushed too far or sent over the cliff or edge. The wounded warrior magician is reversed, being stubborn and refusing to share with X after a sudden event, epiphany, or getting off the fence or closing the gate to a negative past, with Gemini and Scorpio both reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles competitive, or showing off, flirting all the time, with the Page of Pentacles reversed, trying to learn and be strong, but it's no fantasy, receiving constant advances or offers for projects, with the Ten of Cups reversed, unhappy family, with the King of Pentacles reversed, no longer their savior. And soon is alchemy reversed, losing patience or drained, or kids out of control. The Page of Swords stepping it up, with advice from the Hermit with the light, or the Sovereign on the journey to give good news when things aren't working out, losing patience or fell from grace. The Satisfied or unhappy with self, losing temper with the King of Cups reversed and their conditions of love, or the King of Cups reversed is losing their temper. With Leo and Sag both reversed and Virgo upright, there's a slew of Sagittarius right here. A big release of Sagittarius in the South Node leading up to 12/22, which is tomorrow, the South Node going from Sagittarius to Scorpio. The twin flames, seeing themselves as the Knight of Wands reversed, running short on energy or paralyzed by their passions at 1037, the Wheel and the King of Cups, detoxing and reaping rewards, celebrating with the King of Wands reversed or Libra reversed, or unfair King of Wands reversed and King of Cups reversed, unhappy, trapped with announcements or a wake-up call. Or maybe they're stuck having to get the kids up, being the alarm clock in the morning. At 1038, which is the Wheel and the Queen of Cups, with passion and love yourself first. Freeze frame was then coming up right there. And by the way, I was watching the movie Looper last night, which I didn't see it to the end because I got tired and I stopped watching. But freeze frame, so again, that suspended animation energy was coming up here. With Sag and Capricorn both reversed, as well as Libra and Aquarius upright. Around the twins are how they're seen as the Nine of Pentacles sovereign and her secret garden. The 5D connect in separation with the Empress, the High Priestess, which can be a grandmother and her sister type of energy here, with the Queen of Swords speaking to the Page of Cups with loving message that everything's all better. Mother, sister, and child, or mother with aid or advisor to give advice and get a little love in return, or the Page of Cups is loving the Empress and the Queen of Swords. And the independent child with mother, Taurus upright and Pisces upright, perhaps at a distance and or nursed back to health or missing each other. You know, it can be moms and kids who are missing each other. And the block here being the Ten of Wands Atlas, leaving the wounded warrior behind, that victim mentality. The fallen angel tells the truth to the Queen of Wands reversed about patience, which is funny because we talked about patience and the issue with that, and financial disclosure, but even more so spirituality and making an effort. In a three-way situation, and the avoid dance that's not working, the Star with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of wealth, and the King of Pentacles reversed, awake to the Queen of Pentacles upright, performing for those who are suffering in silence, or Aquarius, or to avoid heartbreak and third-party participation. Not working out or over it, the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, or reaping rewards with a new passion for the Queen of Pentacles at 1140, which is justice and the Page of Cups, innocence or puppy love. So then we have the Page of Swords. So starting from this is the summary. So we had the Emperor and the Empress upright in the beginning, along with that Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Page of Swords, where the Knight of Swords was reversed. So they could be, you know, a mouthy kid, or they could be giving them the silent treatment as well, or just holding back their tongue when they really want to say something or lash out. They could, all of them may be coming together for a family gathering, or with the Hermit to reflect with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Sovereign, the Nine of Pentacles, or the Knight of Wands reversed is the Sovereign, or again is now single or left the house from their parents, with the King of Cups reversed who may be sick or drained and challenged by separation or disappointment or heartbreak and losing patience or fallen angel, and Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind, that it's not working out, or they were overworked, or it was overworked, with the King of Swords upright getting over the loss of being the star of the family, and the regret with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, reaping rewards of passion of the Queen of Pentacles, who may be losing money. I was just getting someone losing their memory, though, as well. Family coming together with the King of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords reversed to reflect the need for vacation or break, for depletion or illness of the wounded warrior challenged by separation and heartbreak, or a three-way situation with the Knight of Wands reversed fallen angel and the Sovereign or single person with the weight of the world and leaving the wounded warrior behind, overworking or not working out, and just over it with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, reaping his rewards while he has a new passion for the Queen of Pentacles. So we have Virgo upright, Leo reversed, Sag reversed. And we have the King of Cups reversed could be a Leo, who could have Leo in their chart. The wounded warrior definitely could be a Sagittarius, along with the Knight of Wands reversed, could be the same person. And then the Sovereign and Queen of Pentacles could be the same person, unless it's a mother and daughter, but Virgo is coming up in those energies there. And the wounded warrior just can't do it anymore. So that's where they finally surrender, because there's no choice. And the Looper. All right, so let's see. I know it's long. 114.31. a higher love with the magician embodiment and chaos of birth. And it's 6:04 on the clock, which is the lovers and the emperor. Let's see what the animals have to say today. Take a deep breath. The tarantulas. This came up in the read today too. And the tarantula is all about being at a crossroads and need to make a decision about what path you're going to go on. And there we have the little mouse who's struggling in the dark energies. And there is the buffalo coming in as the Taurus north node. And there's the scorpion coming up again as the south node, right? The stinger, the tail end. So we're getting rid of this energy, right? All of the qualities associated with the sign of Scorpio are being let go. And all of the positive energies of Taurus are pushing you forward, right? So that stubbornness is being used to basically push us all forward in a positive direction of not giving up. So let's see what else is coming up with these guys. So the mouse is about anxiety as well. And along with the scorpion energy, letting that go in the south node, we're also coming, like the firefly has a lot of light right here, but it doesn't last long, right? It's that fleeting inspiration. And especially with Scorpio jumping them, right? This is being shocked. You see this tail energy going into that firefly? And then we have the hyena over here. And them laughing, like this is like siblings, like torturing each other. And then there's the other sibling laughing at this one, that this one hurt them. It's that kind of energy. Yeah, all right, they're telling me to tell you what I did. My brothers, when my parents were away, and my brothers were babysitting, and God knows why my parents thought my oldest brother should babysit at that time, because he had a really bad temper. But my brothers dared me to, I was young at the time, they dared me to touch the ping pong ball to the red on the stovetop, because it was an electric stovetop. And so, you know, my brothers dared me. So of course I was going to do it because they weren't going to prove me that I wouldn't do something, right? They didn't think I would do it. So I didn't know it was going to explode, but it, you know, ping pong ball has pressured air and it exploded. And my brother was cooking a hamburger, and then I just threw it up in the air. Thank God the ping pong ball landed in the pot that he was cooking in. And there was a fire probably a couple feet tall there. It was no small thing. But anyway, this is reminding me of that, you know, the ping pong ball exploding up in the air. And then, you know, one brother's going to think it's really funny, and then the other one's going to be like, you know, don't laugh. You got to put the fire out. The whole house is going to blow up on fire. And that's the energy I'm getting from that. Oh, that's funny. And this could be that, you know, the energy of someone who could be indecisive, someone who's anxious, and then here's the one they always count on making decisions, because the buffalo is really stable and secure, but heavenly too, right? They're really well grounded, super grounded. And maybe these two don't think that they can do it on their own. But it's saying right now, you know, it's time to side with the Taurus energy and not the Scorpio energy, because you see what's going to happen with Scorpio. It's not very positive. Whereas the Taurus can give you a lot of stability and help you find your way when you're feeling anxious or undecided here. But not in a codependent way. And we're releasing the Scorpio stinger. Right, someone not getting their way or finding it funny to give other people pain, which of course brothers and sisters always do that kind of stuff when they're growing up. And then we have the bottom of the deck of the zebra and the third eye activation there. And again, in this card, it's always the contrast that strikes out, right? Because you wouldn't see the stripes as well if you didn't have the stripes horizontally there. The contrast is needed so something can stand out and be seen, right? You can't see it really well unless there's the opposite, right? So you have the Taurus and Scorpio energies, which were just being shown to you. So how would you really be able to understand those energies unless you could see the contrast to it? So that's what's coming up here. And we have the spider and the spider web over here, right? They're in their territory, but it's also a very sticky situation. But this is also the collective web activated. And the spider, they're not intimidated by anything, because if you ruin their web, they're just going to create it all over again. That's what they do. This is the underlying energy, is the collective awakening. This is the crown chakra. This is the grid awakening the third eye here in the collective here. So that's the underlying energy. So as everybody's awakening, we're switching to the north node and south node, which was coming up very significantly in the cards today. And let's see what, I'm going to pull an energy deck card too, just because that was very much talking about the north and south node of Taurus and Scorpio. With the Scorpio energy, it feels like also Scorpio getting the little guy to do their dirty work for them, like, or to tell the hyena something, like they're saying something sweet, but it's coming from the scorpion, not from the firefly. It's like secondhand information. It's not firsthand. We have all tied up. So this again, this is the King of Wands energy again that needs balance, because there's some anger issues that are coming out on the right side, the right knee, the right leg, that kind of energy. This also can be toying with someone, feeling trapped in a situation because of manipulation, feeling all tied up. And then again, needing to remove the mask here regarding attachments, and 23 is a 5. 23 adds up to 5, and that's the way it would be written. So the King of Wands does need balancing here, because there's some kind of manipulation or game playing being done, and someone needs to take off the mask of attachment, right? If they're all tied up, they're attached. So it's about letting go of attachment. And then we also have the energy of the angel of love getting their wish by focusing on their heart with the 49 and the nine of cups. The bottom of the deck is somebody walking away, right? Inspired to their freedom. With the 27 is the ace of wands. Okay, inspired to walk away. And somebody else, this could be masculine and feminine energies, where one is now taking a break while the other one goes away. And perhaps dealing with children who are playing those other games. But that could be adult children as well. And then from the journey of love, let's see what comes up for you guys. Oh, by the way, when Southern Cross came up yesterday during the Oracle cards, it's the Song of Southern Man, and I always forget the words, so, but it's definitely regarding that kind of energy. And also the Southern Cross comes up as a constellation, very significant in the Southern Hemisphere as opposed to the Northern Hemisphere. Our takeaway for the read today, December 21st, 2021. What is the significance of the pivot point today? What is the significance? The cards are just being kind of difficult. A difficult pivot? Nope. Here we go. The Temple, 59, which is the war within, but it's also the 59 out of 60, which is the 11th hour, the moment before. And there's the liberation, the Temple, right, at the Statue of Liberty, and coming together in the divine union here in the 11th hour. In the 11th hour, the choice, and there's that 62 of imprisonment, which is this card here, right? That's like the 8 of Swords card here, being trapped or imprisoned, and that can be all mental. So again, the choice is made to stay in prison. Do I stay or do I go? To stay in prison or to release oneself. And you see how the flow goes right into this card? And it looks like a spoon. Look at that. It looks like a ladle. How cool is that? It's like I have a spoonful of this. It's like the masculine energy was just inserted into the situation in the 11th hour. Like it's a spoonful of medicine. Lets the medicine go down. The medicine go down. In their liberation and coming together in union. And then we have gifts received. And of course it's Christmas, so that's the 13 of death, transition, endings, transformation, and your new abilities coming on board, being able to see orbs, especially in nature, really easily. Receiving your natural gifts by releasing yourself from that mental prison. Yeah, I feel like the masculine was just ripped out of one dimension, like out of the 3D kind of energy, and just like on a tram, and just put right into the spot where they're supposed to be, where the feminine was standing there waiting in the vortex for the masculine. It's very interesting. And then the bottom of the deck is loving all that is. So the feminine holding space, and the 22, the Fool's Journey. And the space between the words. So saving that space, the Queen of Wands comes up as that. Remembering this is very two-dimensional here, right? There's a lot in our 3D world that's still of lower vibration than our souls, right? Our bodies aren't fourth dimensional, but our spirit is rising here. But there's still space for all that is. 22 is the Fool's Journey. And again, reading the spaces between the words and leaving space, right? Because there's space everywhere. Your body isn't solid. It's got lots of space between the molecules and the atoms, right? So that's the underlying energy of coming together in union and holding space for that, right? There has to be space made for something to insert itself into that space. And when the space is created, then all of a sudden it aligns. That's the energy that's coming up like that. And then we have these two coming up too, the pearl threaded, right? We're all connected by the pearl, which is what grows, the beauty that grows from the bacteria that got in. So the difficult circumstances we've been through creates the beauty within us, which is then links us all. The 38 of the Queen of Cups, that Mary Magdalene energy, and the shadow side of the devil, the mother prays, right? Who preys on them. It's very much that energy of the praying mantis, but in higher colors, but the shadow side of those higher colors, which could be too that someone says they know better than you for yourself. And again, there's this shadow side in us all, so it's not pinpointing one person over another. So we're going to read for you. The first card out was the tarantula, which comes up under fire. At a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose, or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When they're in balance, they follow their intuition. But when they're out of balance, they hesitate or over-intellectualize. To bring back into balance, daily journaling for the tarantula. And then for the first card out here was the Temple, 59. And that one says, The lover and the beloved meet in sacred space. They take respite from the cares of the world, entering into sanctuary where only they exist. You are in need of this. Meditation, making love, connection and dance, intimacy and surrender into the moment. Your body and soul need to enter into the temple and participate in sacred ceremony. Choose to gift this to yourself. Set aside time. Turn off the computer and mobile phone. Turn on music and set the lighting. Be in the present moment. Do you remember your body? Ah, yes, here it is. Can you be in its temple with presence and delight? This oracle brings guidance to take time out to smell the flowers, savor the pleasures of life, and renew your connection to the inner lover. Your sensuality wants to come out and play. You're encouraged to explore scent, touch, taste, and feeling. You're encouraged to play with color. What moves you? What brings you into connection with yourself at this moment again? It is the wholeness of divine self-connection in sacred space that will best nourish you now. And the poem reads, love should be given as it is received. On this day I grant you the love of 1,000 mountain streams and the pleasure of 100 bleats. From a newborn baby fawn, for I too cry for love. And like the fawn, I cry with the hunger of being alive. And on this day I cry for the happiness of giving and the warmth of receiving and the softness of your gentle touch. It is moments like these when I smile for the someone who will always care. So remember to drink your water and get your rest, your joy, and your nature, and breathe. And breathe again. And rise and be love, you guys. Have an amazing day. I'll see you soon. Bye.